Hey everyone, I'm Jay Smith, and this is Bradley Kendall, and this is After Further Review. And tonight we're going to have a very special guest. Kanyon Tuttle is on the show. So Bradley, after further review?
It's game day time.
Absolutely right. It's the last show of the semester. Season 1 of After Further Review is over. We've had 20 episodes, 10 in the season, 10 off season. It's been a lot of fun.
Yep, and we have a special announcement to make regarding something special we're going to do here at Tiger Vision. We're going to hopefully be doing a new show next year. We're going to try and call it something along the lines of Clemson Game Day. It's going to be a game day show by the students for the students.
Yeah, and Thomas Marshall, Tiger Vision's own Thomas Marshall, is putting it together. He's doing all the legwork behind the scenes, and he's doing a great job. He's reached out to ESPN to get naming rights, to get all that confirmed. I know that he's reached out to a lot of local businesses.
Yep.
Tadaro's is willing to sponsor all of the food at the event. SO Club is talking about doing a sponsorship as well. We're hoping to do T-shirts through Tiger Town Graphics. It should be, if it all comes together, it should be an amazing event.
It's going to be great, and everyone loves game day, but we don't get it every week throughout the year. So we're going to try and incorporate something in most home games, get the students to do something, get everyone involved, and it should be really a really cool thing for next year.
I know that we've also talked to the people in charge of cheer, and they're going to possibly get us some rally cats, a little pep band, and maybe even a mascot head. So we could have a mini college game day show at Clemson here in the fall on September 2nd when we play Kent State.
Kent State game, yeah. We're going to be doing stuff the week before, getting everyone excited about it. We'll be at Tiger Prowl.
Yep.
But hopefully we're going to be set up right outside of Stadium Suites for all you Clemson students out there. That's what we'll be next year.
Yeah, we'll have a great view, a great backdrop of the stadium, and everybody milling around before the pregame. And hopefully we'll do our show around 10:30 to 11 a.m., about before kickoff. And it should go live sometime in the late evening once we get everything edited together.
Bring signs, bring whatever you want for people that are going to be back there. You know, we're trying to get everyone involved.
Yeah, hopefully, at the very least, there will be T-shirts to give away, maybe food. We're still working on that. And at this point, we're going to go with the name Clemson Game Day. And so hopefully that'll be something that you all can look forward to in the fall.
Yeah, so really looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. Yeah, it's going to be a great thing for Tiger Vision.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, though, we are going to have our interview with Clemson football player Kanyon Tuttle. Hey everyone, welcome back, and we are extremely excited to announce that we have a special guest here tonight, Clemson football's own Kanyon Tuttle. Thanks for being here with us.
I really appreciate you guys reaching out for me.
Absolutely, happy to have you here. Yep.
And you're a Charlotte native, so you're from the surrounding area. Obviously, everybody knows who your father is, Perry Tuttle.
Yeah.
The guy who caught the game-winning touchdown catch in the national championship game when Clemson played Nebraska back in '81. And you know, just going into kind of your backstory, obviously you come from a football family. Your dad obviously played collegiately. Now you're playing collegiately. What was that process like when you decided to play or wanted to play football at a collegiate level?
Well, I think I've always had this dream to play at college football. Kind of just grew up with it at a young age, and my dad's never pressured me to do anything I don't want to do. So like if I didn't want to play football, I didn't have to. But I really loved it, and I told him, I expressed that to him, so he helped me, and he was like, all right, if you really want to do this, like, we're going to do it, and I'm going to get you there. Then there's a lot of bumps along the road and a lot of fights, but it was worth it. So
you originally started out at SC State your freshman year, and then you transferred here to Clemson, and now you're a redshirt sophomore, and you're your original walk-on, so you didn't come in you didn't come in with any scholarship. What was that process like? Because obviously anyone who has any familiarity with the Clemson football program knows your father's name. Was there any, I don't want to say special treatment, but how was, like, were you just welcomed as one of the guys, or did people respect you, or was there just kind of a different attitude towards you, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting transition. I didn't know what to expect, but in terms of getting here, the guys on the team were great, open arms. I mean, I knew some of them. My cousins, JD and Judah, play on the team, so I've known them my whole life. And I don't know, I thought it was cool how, like, everybody, not even just like the guys you don't really see on game day, but from the top talented guys to the bottom of the roster all kind of welcomed me in. It's a big family. So.
And coming from South Carolina State, I mean, not really a proclaimed football school coming from Clemson. What's been your biggest transition so far? Because it is kind of a big step up.
The biggest transition probably would definitely just kind of be the environment of a bigger campus. I mean, South Carolina State was like 3,000 students. It was awful. I hated it. I hated it.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, growing up a Tiger fan, it was like I always wanted to come here. But I mean, that transition wasn't too bad. It kind of took like a couple weeks. I actually found out I was coming here like really late, like a week before school started, in like the middle of the semester. So it's kind of a bit of a rush, but I mean, with the guys bringing me and everything, the transition was pretty easy.
Yeah, and Dabo Swinney, I mean, for people that watched Clemson games last year, we talked about Hunter Renfrow being a former walk-on. Has Dabo ever reached out to you and talked about that with you, like as a mentorship or something like that?
Yeah. Well, since like my dad's been around, I've kind of like had a relationship with a lot of the coaches here. I was recruited here out of high school. I was going to come here out of high school, and then like stuff happened back home. So I mean, I was very like me and Coach Swinney were very familiar with each other.
Already had a relationship.
Yeah. And been to the camps. And so, I mean, at the camp, they offered me like a walk-on spot my senior year, and that's what I was like, yeah, of course. But I mean, he's talked about it before. Kind of, we just had meetings a couple weeks ago, and he was like, if you keep on working, just trust the process. I had 3 years left, so there's plenty of time to see what happens.
I'm curious though, because you talk about your dad obviously a lot. He must be a big influence in your life, and you talk about coming to camps, knowing Coach Swinney. Was the expectation, like you said, coming out of high school, were you expected to play? Did your dad expect you to play here? Did he ever talk to you directly about coming to Clemson to play, or did he just give you free reign to choose whatever school made you the happiest?
Yeah, no, definely. He said I could pick any school except South Carolina, and I was like, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, understandable.
But no, he was cool with it. He's like, he went on with me to all my visits. Didn't really matter. He loved a lot of other schools too, and he knew a lot of coaches at other schools, good people that he wouldn't mind handing me off to, and all that. But yeah, kind of a little bit like that.
And you were a redshirt last year, and now obviously you're playing on the team. What have you seen so far this season that you're most looking forward to coming in the next season? Is it the team chemistry, the overall talent, having a lot of fun? Like, what's been your most favorite part of it so far?
Man, that's a hard question. It might have to be just being with the guys. It's a blast. I mean, like, we see each other every day, and a lot of people can get annoyed. I mean, we get annoyed with each other often. A bunch of guys just around each other, a bunch of testosterone in the room. But no, I mean, it's always a blast. There's always something going on, something to laugh at. You have a good conversation. So I really enjoy just being with the guys and just having all the activities that we have to go through, just hanging out during the summer, all that. So. Do
you feel like that'll be your biggest takeaway besides running down the hill, rubbing the rock, winning a national championship, winning ACC champion? What you feel like is the biggest takeaway from being a part of the Clemson football team, is the camaraderie that you feel with your teammates?
I think so. You see it a lot. I've seen it growing up. My dad's still in touch with a lot of his old teammates, and Clemson. We always stress this Clemson family idea, and it really is a family. And I know, even guys that I haven't even played with, guys that played like 6-7 years ago, will come back, and they'll look out and mentor us, and kind of it's just like through the generations, everybody kind of just like keeps that connection. It's kind of like a brotherhood that we have. So I think that's definitely the biggest thing that comes with it.
Cool. I do want to, and I know I'm sure you've heard them all before, but I do want to rattle off some of the accomplishments that your dad has here at Clemson. Obviously, he played between 1978 and 81. He's second all-time in both touchdown receptions and reception yards. He's fourth all-time in total receptions, and then ninth all-time in yards per catch. He was named to the Clemson Hall of Fame in 1991 and then the Centennial Team in 96. And obviously, he was drafted in the NFL first round by Buffalo.
Clemson North.
I believe. Yeah, Clemson North, which, that tradition I can see has continued. But just, going back to your dad, was there anything that he would bring up with you in talking about college or his experience as a player with you? Did he share anything with you?
Yeah, all the time we talk, and I think the biggest thing he stressed so far since I've been here. It's something that he didn't do as much that he wished he did when he was here as an athlete. He didn't take the time to get to know like his classmates and the people around him. So I try to make it a point to kind of just talk and meet everybody that I'm around and interact with. And I mean, it's benefited me. I think it's made college a lot more fun, and that's what college is about. But I mean, that and just, I mean, there's countless of lessons and talks that we've had. But I mean, that and I guess asking for help, since I mean, I kind of have been around Clemson like my whole life. There's a lot of older adults here that we know, and not being afraid to ask for help, and just learning to trust people that are offering help and to take it.
I think the resources that the school puts in place for kids, because I mean, I know that there's obviously a lot of glamour that goes with playing football, of course, but the amount of work and time that y'all put in, even during the off season, with spring workouts and practices and all the other events that y'all have to do as part of being on the football team, having that support structure in place, I think is critical to ensuring your success, not only at college, but after college, because not everyone is going to get drafted in the NFL. Not everyone's going to make $1 million with getting drafted. So I think that's really important.
And I know something we've all been talking about recently with the spring game and everything that's been going on leading into next year. We want your take as a football player. Where do you see this team next year for Clemson? Because we're coming off a national championship.
Yeah.
What do you think our ceiling could be?
Man, I don't think there's a limit to what we could do this year. We have a lot of the guys. I think we only have 10 guys that are coming in this summer. So basically, the team's already here. We're already bonding and going through it together. So the majority of the team here, I think that's big. 'Cause I mean, other schools have like 30 kids still, in high school or whatever, 20 kids. That and just, I don't know, I think the returning guys that are here, there's a lot of guys in my grade and the junior class that are coming back that have a lot of experience. So I think that's huge. I mean, that's the core of our team. And with those guys coming back, I don't think there's any limit to what we can do this year.
There's going to be a lot of leadership roles that will need to be filled.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we've talked about is obviously there's quarterback position, and then Boulware was linebacker. You had Leggett at tight end. You had Mike Williams receiver, Gallman running back. There were a lot of dynamic players that left, and there's plenty of talent behind them. Nobody's questioning that talent. It's just I think the ability to step up and fulfill that leadership role that you see in successful teams is key to continued success for Clemson.
Yeah, Coach Sweeney talks about that all the time. Like, who's going to be, who's going to step up and kind of take this team and mold it into what we want to be this year. But the thing is, with having all those leaders last year, there's they set a great example for all of us, and a lot of guys know. I mean, we know how to win. We know what to do to get to where we need to go. And so I think the example that Ben and Deshaun and Wayne and all them set for the guys that are in their position groups and that are coming up, they did a good job. So I think, there's not going to be much of a drop-off there in leadership.
You mentioned Dabo, and I found this article that Fox Sports put together this past year talking about the similarities between your dad's team's run in the national championship and then y'all's team this past year. And your dad actually said, he was quoted as saying, Dabo was one of those guys that could have been Coach Ford, Danny Ford, the coach for the national championship in '81, could have been Coach Ford's son, but was just a little bit more sophisticated. And he went on to say, he said, your dad said, Ford and Sweeney possess tremendous qualities that extend beyond the football field. They're the same, Tuttle said. Coach Ford was a tobacco-spitting academic All-American. I don't know if people really know that. I mean, the guy was an academic All-American, and because of tobacco spitting, it kind of gave him the image that he was a doofus, but the guy was brilliant. He really understood early on how to walk into a recruiter's kitchen and win over the mom. I mean, it was an art, and he was good at it. It's about your mamas and papas. That's what he used to say. That's what your dad was quoted with saying when discussing Danny Ford and Dabo Sweeney. And I think a lot of that rings true. We typically credit Dabo with being an excellent recruiter. And in your experience, do you feel like that comparison is accurate? I mean, I know obviously you don't have a personal relationship with Danny Ford, but do you feel like Dabo takes on that father-ish role in the locker room? If that makes sense?
Definitely. Even to disciplining us and everything, he would discipline us just like our dads would. you could tell he wants the best for us. And kind of even just talking to friends that play at other schools, you can see how fortunate we are to have Coach Sweeney here and somebody to really care for us and provide a staff that really cares for us. I think that's both personally for me, that was a big part in me wanting to come here because I knew I'd be in good hands, like guys that really want my best interest in life. And like you were talking about after life after football, it's something Coach Sweeney stresses a lot. So you know he cares about you when you're around him.
Yeah, because for some guys, I mean, once they graduate, the age of 24, 25, they have 40, 50 more years, and sometimes football is not going to be their future. But I do think that it's interesting how the mentalities and the approaches of Danny Ford and Dabo Sweeney are very similar, and the similar success that they both have.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to have a Tuttle on the team because last time he was here, we won a championship, and now that you're here, we got a championship.
Yeah.
So we'll hope to continue that going.
I mean, what's that like, knowing that not only your father was part of a national championship team, but you were also part of a national championship team at the same school? What must that be like?
There's not much you can say against you now because you guys both have it.
Yeah, really. It's just it's crazy. I mean, it's a fun experience that me and him get to have together, and kind of like with our whole family, kind of just experience that we saw. We didn't really see the what he got from it, kind of just like the after part, and then now like me and my siblings are kind of going through it, and it's fun to have my family with me and like have their support. But I mean, we joke about it all the time. When I went home a couple weekends ago, I brought my rings home. And I compared. I was like, "Hey, you're looking a little small," you know what I'm saying? No, but I mean, it's fun. It's kind of just something we're just taking in together, one day at a time as it comes. Yeah.
Well, Kanyon, we appreciate you coming on.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
We're going to take one more quick break, and when we come back, we'll go ahead and wrap up the season finale of After Further Review. All right, welcome back. This is it, Bradley. We've made it through 20 episodes dating all the way back to September. We've argued hours and hours of college football.
And we've been wrong multiple times.
Yeah, and I cannot wait to do it again with you in the fall.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, hopefully, our predictions about Clemson will come true again like we did last year. But it's been fun. I've really enjoyed bantering back and forth, a little first take, kind of like an ESPN show. But it's been fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we got to give a shout out to the big man behind the scenes, Taylor Wilson. He has done so much technical work for us. We really appreciate it. We've also got Evan McDowell in the studio on the prowl. I think Thomas Marshall is back there, the man behind Clemson Game Day, and maybe even our GM, Josh Strickland. So we really appreciate all the help behind the scenes. For Bradley, I'm Jay, and for the last time until next fall, this has been After Further Review.
Thanks for watching as always.